Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the June 9th council meeting. This is the working session. So at this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. As I said, this is our working session where no official action is taken. We don't take any votes. It's just a time for the administration to let the council know, go over all the stuff on the agenda, and if there's any coordination, any last-minute questions or anything, it's a time for the council and the staff to interact. So we do have an agenda. We have an agenda. You'll notice we have a few folks absent, but the three of us here make up the majority. So we'll drive on, and we'll start with, we'll go down to number 7, financial statement. Mr. Bradley Smith.
Mayor, Council, if you'll take a look in tonight, you're actually going to see our financial highlights as of May 31st, 2025. You'll note our ideal remaining percentage is 8%, and as I've been trying to make sure that Council was aware of, we will note here that our remaining percentage for the general fund is at negative 6%. All of that, of course, is related to all of the things that I've been bringing to the attention of Council throughout, is the Hurricane Helene response, as well as the construction of the depot. Remember, we were going to be using prior year fund balance to construct the depot, a lot of which came from the American Rescue Plan funds that we received. So we were able to commit and are in the middle of construction phase, and we will complete that well before the deadline of the commitment and use of the ARP funding. Other than that, you'll note that our water and sewer fund is right on line with the 8%. I do not believe that we will go over what has been budgeted for that. We're actually sitting at about rounding numbers, we're about 8.45%, so it rounds down. So we're looking good there. I'm not really concerned that we'll finish out the year in the negative. And of course, stormwater budget sitting at about 28%. Mr. Lyons and I were actually just speaking of a couple of projects that we're going to be using as we wrap out the end of this year. So we should be looking at that number lower when I come to show you the June highlights next month. Other than that, our restricted fund cash balances are continuing to increase outside of the SPLOST 2017 to 2022 fund. We would like to see that budget, those numbers to continue to go down as we spend the SPLOST funds that were allocated to us by the county. Well, not by the county, I'm sorry, by the citizens, collected by the county, then sent to us. It is not county funding, it is citizen funding. So as we continue to see that to decrease, we're hoping in the next 18 to 24 months, we will expend all of those SPLOST dollars, and I think we're still on pace for that as well. But barring that, any questions, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, that's all I have tonight.
Any questions for Mr. Smith?
Mr. Smith, just if I remember correctly, we are going to finish the fiscal year showing this negative, but so officially it'll show, but because we won't get the reimbursement until after the end of the fiscal year.
Yes, sir. Well, actually, it's going to be a strange situation here. We are able to balance our funds with what's called prior year fund balance. So when I come to y'all next month with the budget adjustments for fiscal year end, this number will all of a sudden seem inflated and seem that it would be back in the positive section, but it will be balanced through prior year fund balance accumulation. So yes, sir, we are on paper taking a loss. However, it will not appear so according to the budget because using prior year fund balance as a revenue source is a legal use of revenue. It's considered revenue even though it was not revenue collected in this year. So it would have been prior year. So when I do show the budget amendments involved in this, that number will go back into the positive. However, we will be dipping into prior year fund balance this year, approximately, by the time everything's said and done, I'd say anywhere from 2.3 to 2.6 million. But again, a larger portion of that is actually going to be related to the construction of the depot, which we collected those funds 3 years ago. So that is really where the papers, had we not had that, honestly, I don't know that we would have shown a loss this year. It would have been close. But again, we do anticipate collecting the Helene funding. I've talked to Mike Woods about that. FEMA does work as any other federal government agency. We're hoping January, quite frankly, is when we're hoping. So this upcoming fiscal year is when we expect to receive all those funds.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Bradley.
Absolutely.
All right, Employee of the Month we'll cover during our regular session, same with the service awards. our proclamation, the Vietnam Veterans recognition, and our business spotlight. Item number 13, the Grovetown High School tennis team recognition. Councilmember Soretta Smith.
Okay, can I get the Grovetown high school tennis team to please come up with your coaches? Let's give them a hand as they come up, y'all. They did something incredible, not just this year, but in the history of the school. I remember when the school was built. I remember when it was open. And so this is just super, super awesome. Certificate of recognition presented to the Grovetown Warriors tennis team. Mayor and council would like to congratulate the Grovetown Warriors tennis team on their undefeated 2024-25. Yeah, woo! Give me some woos. Their undefeated 2024-2025 season, earning the school's first ever regional championship and run to the Sweet 16. The city of Grovetown is incredibly proud of all you have accomplished this year. And so on behalf of the mayor in his absence, the mayor pro tem, Councilwoman Bowman, Councilwoman Martin in her absence, we want to present you with this certificate of appreciation. Keep pushing, keep driving, keep going. I'm looking forward to seeing somebody in Wilmington, the French Open. Just when you get there, you know. And so at this time, Coach, would you like to come up and receive this with your players? And let's give her a hand. It's amazing, Coach.
It was a special year. I love these guys. I wouldn't want to do it with nobody else. Got heart.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. In front of the podium here, if y'all just kind of group together, I'll do a group photo. Miss Smith.
Junior in the front, Hunter in the front.
Yeah, all the short people.
Might be two, yeah, one or two more on this side over here.
I'd rather wait. Because he's not here, well, it's not him, it's his wife, because he's deceased. But she's not here.
One,
Yeah.
two, three. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Councilwoman Smith, and again, congratulations to the Grovetown High School tennis team. Well-deserved. Item number 14 is our report from our ad hoc committee to study annexation. We're going to wait till our regular meeting. Then the next item following that is going to be citizens' comments. So for anybody that wants to speak during the council meeting, there's a form in the back of the table. If you would so desire and fill it out. If you have a question or have a comment or want to make a statement, please fill it out and give it to Jordan there in the back, our PIO. Jordan, raise your hand. Yep, that's him. Give it to him, and then during the council meeting, we'll allow you to speak and have you heard. All right, item 16, general business under old business. Recommend adoption of ordinance 2025-05-01, ordinance to adopt the City of Grovetown budget for fiscal year 2025-2026, our second reading, and Mr. Bradley Smith once again.
I guess our budget reading's just not as exciting. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No.
Well, you want us to clap for you?
Every now and then, I'm kidding. No, absolutely. This is our second reading. We did have our first reading. We have met all legal requirements, all advertising requirements, and we have had all the budget hearings that are required. So this is the final step of our budget process. After the reading tonight, this budget will go in effect on July 1st, 2025, and will end on June 30th, 2025. Again, we've gone through many steps. Mayor and council have been through each of the iterations. So if there are any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. However, again, this is just the final step for us to implement the budget for next year.
Any questions? No? All right.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Item 17, general business, new. Letter A, recommend to approve to enter into a memorandum of understanding for emergency medical and firefighting dispatch services between Columbia County and the city of Grovetown. Our city administrator, Ms. Elaine Matthews.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Blair. We have before you tonight an agreement, a memo of understanding for emergency medical and firefighting dispatch services between Columbia County and the city of Grovetown. We recommend approval. This has been reviewed by the county attorney. It's also been reviewed by our city attorney, and it's ready for approval tonight. This would be effective July 1st.
So, any questions?
I have, Ms. Matthews. If I read this correctly, and I think I found it now again, what's the catch to this? And by that, I simply mean, this memorandum says that the county's going to do this and there is no charge to us. Is that correct?
That is correct. The county collects the 911 fees that are enumerated on your telephone bill, whether it be your home phone or your cell phone. We are designated by zip codes, and franchise fees are collected based upon that information. And so Columbia County is deemed as the only certified 911 dispatch in Columbia County. There can only be one in each county, and Columbia County takes precedence over the city of Grovetown. Our dispatch is not a 911 center. It is a
Right, because I know
dispatch.
people dialed and they would actually get the county was answering all along. Then
Yes, sir.
They would transfer it, right?
Yes, sir. As of July 1st, when you dial 911, of course, you would get Columbia County 911. If you dial that, you will get police or fire on their end. They, in turn, will now dispatch for the city of Grovetown. And the reason there's no charge is that citizens already pay this fee to Columbia County. We are just now taking advantage of that and actually saving funds, money saved by Grovetown, because we're not duplicating those services anymore. Just a few months ago, Columbia County initiated a whole new type of dispatch center, state-of-the-art. They have many pieces of equipment and a system there to even recognize tag numbers as you go down the road. And we don't have that here in the same capacity that they do. So we will be taking advantage of many more services and opportunities that Columbia County can offer that the city of Grovetown cannot furnish on its own due to the cost.
So you know, I wasn't opposed to it, but I just wanted to understand why there was no charge. Like I say, there's got to be a trick to this somewhere.
Yes, sir. The charges are already being paid
We're being paid,
by the people in our community who pay on their phone bill.
Their phone bill.
It's already enumerated on there as a 911 service charge.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you mention that because right before the legislative session ended for Georgia, there was a House bill that was introduced, and it'll be reintroduced next year about counties that have multiple dispatch, because like we have our own dispatch, moving them all to the county level 911.
So
to be
none of the
centric.
municipalities
None,
within.
that's what Georgia's driving towards, and that's going to be reintroduced again next year. It was too late for this legislative session. I can't remember the name of the House bill off the top of my head or the number, but it's going to be presented for consolidation, everything at a county 911 center for dispatch.
Yes, sir. Harlem did this a few years ago. They did the same thing. They assessed what it was costing them to do it and trying to keep employees and all those kinds of things. And so now the technology that they have in the Central 911, the smaller police departments just don't have it and can't get it because you can't get access to the funds. So I think it's a budgetary move, and it's a good move for our citizens because now they get seamless service. Before, if they called 863-1212, you would get Grovetown dispatchers, then they would have to relay the message to 911. Now, if you dial 911, you're going to get them directly. There would be no relay of calls.
But, I mean, we're still going to, and I know people are probably while they're getting rid of dispatch, but we're still going to have clerks down at the station 24/7 for when folks come in, like, hey, we got a water break, or hey, there's something going on here, that the folks there are going to have the ability to call Columbia County and have a officer dispatched, or call Mike Lyons and say, you know, hey, we got a water break here, we need to send some folks out, you know, to get everything fixed. I'm sorry, Keith Lyons, to get our water fixed. So, but so that is still going to be there. So
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The clerical people will work the same shifts that the officers work. So actually, the sergeant on that shift will be the keeper of the clerical staff that's there. They will work in conjunction, just like they do now. Same type schedule. The other thing that we do, we will start educating the public as soon as this is approved. If you all approve it tonight, then tomorrow we will start a campaign to educate our citizens for any changes and answer any questions they might have. One of the important things is if you have an automatic dialer on your fire or emergency services or medical equipment that you may use, if you've got it programmed to call 863-1212, you need to get it reprogrammed to call a number at the sheriff's office that they have provided. So if you're not home and you have a fire, your automatic system's going to dial the number that's programmed. So you would need to notify your carrier and to get them to reprogram it so it will ring at 911 or the Columbia County number. This number A is for emergency medical and fire dispatch, which will be done by the Columbia County Fire Department because they have separations in duties there more than we do. Their fire and dispatch and police are not all combined. So the fire department will be dispatched by 911 via the fire department. And then number B is strictly law enforcement dispatch by Columbia County Sheriff's Department. So there is a designation of those two things. But both of them will be provided for Grovetown at no charge because our citizens are already paying that 911 fee. So that's A and B. But I do want to stress, if you have an automatic calling system, medical alert, anything like that that's dialing 863-1212, that needs to be updated and changed to 911 or the number that Columbia County gives us. And I think that's 541-2800. Is that correct? Yes, 541-2800.
Ms. Matthews?
Yes, sir.
Just a housekeeping item, because I don't know if Mayor Pro Tem Blair is going to have to sign that memorandum tonight, but there needs to. Yeah, I don't know if the Mayor Pro Tem is going to have to sign that tonight or not, but there needs to be a little bit of a correction on A. The signature authority is showing the sheriff's office instead of Columbia County, who signs off on behalf of the fire department, I believe.
It all falls under him.
Yeah, the sheriff.
Yeah.
So the sheriff has to actually sign for both of them then?
Yes.
One as the county representative and the other as the sheriff's office.
So,
The note on the one that
City
says
has
that
no jurisdiction.
is a bunch of cases.
right. I know it doesn't have the sheriff's name there, but above in the title of the agency that's signing, it says the sheriff's office.
It says the Columbia County Sheriff's Office Communications.
Oh, maybe my copy doesn't. Mine just says the sheriff's office. It doesn't say the communications center.
So if you'll see the dispatch services memorandum of understanding between Columbia County, Georgia and City of Grovetown, Georgia.
Correct.
And then you've got the second one that says between Columbia County Sheriff's Office. Let's look at the one that says Columbia County, Georgia first.
Correct. That's the
Right.
one, yeah.
So where are you referring to? I'm sorry. You talking about the signature page on the
I'm
back?
talking about the signature page on the back.
Yes, sir. The signature page on the back intentionally leaves off a name on that one because you'll note, yes, it is the Columbia County Sheriff's Office, but it's referring to the Columbia County Sheriff's Office Communications Center that is actually identified in the second paragraph under dispatch services. Because all of this falls underneath that Columbia County Sheriff's Office Communications Center. Because they run
Okay,
two
the
separate
funding for
programs.
the dispatch center, I see that now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's why there was X's on one and the sheriff's name on the other.
Gotcha.
Okay?
I just didn't want to get Mayor Pro Tem. cited
Absolutely.
something.
No, I understand
I was
completely.
just looking out for him.
Yep.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Yes, sir. So that covers A and B. Any other questions?
I think we're good. Thank you, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
All right, item 17C, recommend approval of estimated rollback rate of 7.048 mils pursuant to House Bill 92. Finance Director and our Assistant City Administrator, Mr. Bradley Smith.
Yes, sir. House Bill 581 will never die, so we're going to be doing another portion for that. One of the follow-up bills to House Bill 581 was House Bill 92, which put on additional requirements of those who elected to opt out of House Bill 581, which I think our county and both municipalities, we decided to, and I believe it was the right decision. However, we have to establish what is called an estimated rollback rate to go out in the property tax assessments or estimated billings that go out here in the next few weeks. As such, I've worked with the Columbia County Tax Commissioners and the Tax Assessor's Office. Remember this year, the mayor and council instructed Elaine and I to work together to prepare a budget with the anticipation to roll back the millage rate, which we have done. If we do or are unable to this year, it would be 4 out of the last 6 years, so we continue to evaluate that opportunity for us. As such, we have come up with an estimated rollback mill of 7.048 mils. Recall our current millage rate is 7.313 mils. So our estimated rollback that we're going to put on the advertisement, now this is not you voting on the rollback rate. We will do that again in about a month. So this is purely just an estimate that's going to go out on the advertisement that will go out in a few weeks. I have, like I said, I've been in communication with the tax commissioner and tax assessor, worked with Elaine, and we feel confident that the 7.048 mils is a good estimate for us to put out. We believe it may go lower. However, in the abundance of caution, we're going to leave it at this current estimate of 7.048 mils. So we will then work with the tax commissioner and assessor moving forward, and in about a month, we'll be getting back together and voting on the actual millage rate for 2025. I know this is a new procedure, so if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask. But it's just a little bit of the state just sticking it to us for not adopting their bill, so. I probably shouldn't have said that on the microphone, but I did, so I'm not running for office anytime soon. So,
I'll say it for you. It's the state sticking it to us for not adopting the bill.
Especially the language that we have to use when we advertise, it's
yeah.
very, very misleading. But- Any questions, sir? All right. And you're up here, Bradley, for item 17D, recommend approve to purchase a station alerting system for fire and rescue from Motorola Solutions, Inc. in the amount of $230,197.81.
Yes, sir. So Chief Kent has been working with me probably for the last 3 or 4 months on this, and we have been looking at what is called station alerting. I think it's mock station alerting, is that correct? It is a way to, and then Chief could go into much better detail than I. It's pretty much to alert, it's something that Columbia County uses. It's something that we knew we were going to incur some expenses as we made the transition. This would actually do Station 1 and Station 2. And as many people are aware, our intent to build a new station in the coming years, it is mobile, meaning that we won't incur this expense again when we build the new station. We will be able to take this with us from Station 1 to the new station. So that is great news. So we believe that this is just an additional way for our firefighters we can get on the same system Columbia County uses, and when they have to roll them out, the new dispatchers can just go straight into the station alerting. It will also help us with our, what's the term y'all use, I'm sorry, with the score? ISO ratings. It will help us with our ISO scores, so it'll continue to make our fire departments better. The funding out of this will be the SPLOST 2017 to 2022 SPLOST, where, if you remember, we actually collected more than anticipated of that SPLOST, and as long as we use those funds in categories that was defined in the SPLOST, we can then use these funds towards that. So our intent is to use that SPLOST to purchase this. We had looked at doing a lease option, however, the funding is on hand, so we can save about $14,000 in interest if we just outright purchase it now.
Yes, sir. Any questions?
So these proposed 2 leasing options are out the door. We literally are going to buy it and own it.
Yes, sir. Again, at the time, I was looking at potentially using SPOS 2023 to 2028 funding. And if that was the case, I probably would have done the lease option just so that I could keep more funds on hand. Recall, we are starting the large project with the expansion at Liberty Park soon. So I didn't want to make sure, and I didn't want to hamstring us just in case that time came. However, when I did a reevaluation of the 2017 to 2022 SPOS, I identified an alternate funding source, meaning that it would just make more sense for us to use that funding, and then we could save this funding for further down the line in the 2023 to 2028 SPOS.
So the 230, we own it?
Yes, sir.
This is not some sort of payment related to a lease purchase?
No, sir.
Okay.
Now, there will be some additional paperwork, I think, that Wayne and I will have to work with the seller
No,
on, but
no,
I
I
mean,
understand.
the
Yeah.
price won't change.
Yeah,
Which is what I'm asking you all to approve tonight.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. Well, at this time, that concludes our work session, and so we will convene here in about 3 or 4 minutes for our regular session. So we stand adjourned. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and for those of you that are in the gallery, and for those that are watching on Facebook Live, welcome to the Monday, June 9th City Council meeting for the City of Grovetown. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. We announced that we do have an agenda, and just before we get started on our business meeting, if you are a citizen and you hear and you want to have your voice heard, you want to make a complaint, you want to say something good, you have a comment, on the back table back there are comment sheets. If you just fill it out and give it to Jordan there in the back, and then at the appropriate time, we'll have you come forward and voice your comments or concerns or questions or whatever you may have. Also joining us this evening, I'd like to welcome Troop 2319 from City of Grovetown. They're here learning about how local government works in order to get their government badge. And one of the troop leaders here with them, Miss Rebecca Williams, and I appreciate you bringing your troop out here, and I hope that you all learned something. And I know afterwards we'll stand by if you have any questions or want to tour the place, or just kind of pick our brain. So having said that, I'd like to ask Richard Bowman if he would lead us in the invocation and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'd be pleased to, Mayor Pro Tem. If all of you would stand and join me, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come together as a community, to have this opportunity to discuss the business of this city, this wonderful city that you have given us. We ask for your guidance, for you to give us the wisdom and that we need to make the right decisions that are in the greatest benefit to the citizens of this city. We ask you for your guidance in understanding the things that don't perhaps come easy but are necessary. And we ask you to take this time for each one of us to think about the fact that we are a community, a family, and that we do things and look upon each other as family. And we learn how to extend hands to help each other beyond just the city business that we will handle at this meeting, but just in general as friends and neighbors. We ask you for your guidance. We ask you to help us to continue to love one another as you love us. We ask all this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
If you'll join me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item number 3 on our agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Oh, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor, please cast your vote. All right. Item number 4, approval of the May 12th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to approve the May 12th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that motion.
All right, any discussion? All right, cast your votes, please. All righty. Item number 5, approval of the May 12th, 2025 executive session minutes.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will make a motion to approve the May 12th, 2025 executive session minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Is there any discussion? All right, cast your votes. All right, thank you. All right, item number 6 is committee reports. We'll start with public safety. Again, good evening, folks. Those of you that are joining us in the gallery, welcome. Those of you that are on Facebook, thank you for joining us. So for the month of May, public safety report for the police, our police department responded to 2,055 calls for assistance. That brings their year-to-date total to 10,041 calls. Over the last 30 days, they've made 41 arrests, which includes 7 DUIs. And I know I hit this every month. But if you're going to drink, great. Find a way to have somebody else drive, Uber, have a friend, walk home. Don't drink and drive, because I tell you, it's not a matter of if you're going to get caught coming through Grovetown. It's a matter of when. So our officers are pretty good, and that's what they're out there looking for. So just don't do it. Our CID had two cases, two new cases open, and they closed 9. Our police officers conducted a weapons training during the month of May. They also completed some training titled Intellectual and Neural Development Disabilities for handling calls when they go out. They led a proactive mission looking where once a month they will select a day and they go out all hands on deck and they do a traffic enforcement. And they did it during the month of May. They initiated 16 traffic stops, had 3 written citations, 10 warnings, 3 verbal warnings, and they seized 20 grams of marijuana. And I believe you went on that proactive night with our police officers.
I did go and I did experience a portion of that marijuana takedown. I was not actually there for the event, but back at the station as they were handling it, I did experience that. But it was, if you'll allow me just as a plug, I got a chance to see our police officers in action, and I'm very proud of them and the job and the service and the commitment that they make. And so thank you. I know that the chief's not here, but the assistant chief is. I see him in the back of the room, and thank you for all you guys do.
Yes, sir. It was Thursday. This past Thursday, we launched the 3rd Citizens Police Academy, and we had, I think there were 7 that were present. But that's going to be a 10-week program where interested citizens within the city of Grovetown learn about police operations. Sergeant Rodman, Investigator Ashmore, and Investigator Kiefit, they successfully completed the Precision Immobilization Technique, the PIT course. I'm sure you've seen it on TV. So every one of our officers is going to go through that and get certified in that. And I want to put a congratulations to Captain Loomer and Sergeant Rodman for their promotions. Well-deserved, and congratulations. As you heard my esteemed colleague here talk about the assistant chief, he's there in the back, Major Eastman. Talked to him a little bit earlier. They started kids camp today, and it's all week. It runs through all week, and he said he's looking forward to it, and he's having fun. And they got 50 kids down there, and they're doing some great stuff. So you've done this for years, sir. So I applaud you and thank you very much for continuing the tradition. And I know the kids get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So switching gears to the fire department, responded to 46 calls for fire, 65 calls for rescue or EMS, and for total calls for the month was 111, which brings their year-to-date total to 464. Chief Kent, he met with Sirens for Cities rep. They're conducting the site survey and the preliminary, getting the preliminary stats and plats around for the installation of our outdoor weather sirens that we were lucky enough to get a grant for. So hopefully here by the end of the summer, we'll have those up and operational. For training for the shifts, Shift 1, they did a tabletop exercise where they covered fire department operations, and they conducted training on the water supply. Shift 2 did training on ground ladders. They conducted some scenario-based training on first arriving duties for a structure fire, and they performed training evolutions using the various rescue equipment they have, including their lift airbags, the jaws of life, the rescue struts. Shift 3, they did some training with practical applications of fire ground pumping operations. And also Shift 3 hosted a fire safety presentation for a Girl Scout troop at Fire Station 2. We talked a lot about the ISO rating that our fire company is, we're rated at level 2. We hope to get to a level 1 here. The Georgia Firefighting Standards and Training Council, they conducted an inspection of our training operations and our training records, which plays a big part into the ISO rating, and we passed with no deficiencies noted. So, Chief, congratulations. Thank you. Lieutenant McFadden and Lieutenant Hodges, they completed the Georgia Firefighter Training Standards Council evaluating class, and so now they are able to conduct a state certification practical testing for our firefighters on various certifications. So now we'll be able to do that in-house now instead of having to send folks out. Our Fire Marshal Donahue, updated 23 pre-plans for local businesses. He conducted 14 fire inspections and made 23 business contacts to talk to folks about fire and fire plans and what the fire company and department can do for them. Congratulations to Jason Hall for passing the MPQ practical testing for driver operation and certification. And congrats to Barbie Presley for passing his MPQ driver operating certification written testing. One final note, you may have seen on Facebook, but on the 21st, the PBA, Police Benevolence Association, is holding a back-to-badge car show. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, and if you're interested in entering the vehicle, please do so. I think the entrance fee is $20. And then they're going to have some trophies and prizes that they're awarding at 11:30. They got door prizes and some other things. All this money benefits the Police Benevolent Association to help officers that may be in need, their families that may be in need. And I bring it up because our department plays a big role in it. Our chief and a lot of the officers are involved in the PBA, and so they're going to be there. So just ask you if you got a chance, come out. It's free to attend. You can go out and look at all the old cars. They had some motorcycles there last year. It's a pretty cool event. So that's all I have for public safety. So next will be utility billing and utility services. Councilwoman Smith.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Blair. Again, good evening to everyone here and everyone watching. These stats reflect the month of May. In our water department, they performed 160 locates, completed 87 trash can orders, and 679 other service orders. They performed 15 histories, repaired 11 leaks, installed 28 new water meters, replaced 18 water meters. They did 1 flow and pressure test. They cut the grass on Dodge Lane, Water Tower, and at the Parham Road property. Our stormwater department, they cut the grass at 12 retention ponds, assisted other departments 3 times with water leaks, and using the camera on a new sewer line. They cleaned the ditch on 4th Avenue. They cleaned 2 driveway pipes, removed damaged fencing at various ponds, and cleaned 1 storm drain. Our water waste department, they spent 8 hours cutting grass around city facilities. Again, they were using that camera on the sewer line. They pulled manholes in Pepper Hill, Martha's Vineyard, Willowick, and Reynolds Farm to inspect pluggage. They cleaned the floats at the lift stations. They moved equipment and furniture for our office renovation they're undergoing. They cleaned a sewer manhole on Durbin Drive, removed grease from the Lewiston lift station, located 2 manholes on Durbin Drive that were paved over, raised the manholes and patched around them, installed a windscreen for the Robinson lift station, and performed 24 sewer locates. And our wastewater treatment plant, we discharged 34.8 million gallons of treated wastewater to Butler Creek. They sent 4 dumpsters of sludge to the waste management. They used 39.7% of the plant's capacity. Equipment availability is at 100%, and they work with the CSRA labs on scheduling the wet testing. So they've done a tremendous job for the month of May. They always do excellent work. I want to thank Mr. Lyons and the team. That's all I have, unless there's any questions.
Thank you, appreciate it. Item 6C, Planning and Development. Councilman Richard Bowman, sir.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. As it relates to the Planning and Development offices, as it relates to construction, development, and repairs, there There were 199 building inspections. There were 10 certificates of occupancy. There were 9 new business licenses. We always like to hear that. And there were 58 building permits that were issued. In addition to that, as it related to code enforcement, there were 71 overgrown vegetation situations, and I imagine that's because the spring and the summer is come upon us very rapidly. There were 39 signs that were removed from the row, or excuse me, the right-of-way. We refer to it as the row, but the right-of-ways. There were 5 inoperative or abandoned vehicle cases that they were dealing with. There were 2 business license check for confirmation that businesses were operating legally. As it related to solid waste issues and problems, there were 5 cases. Property maintenance, there were 18 cases. Civil concerns were fairly highly escalated this month over some previous months. There were 74 citizens' concerns. In addition, there were also 2 additional obstructions to the right-of-way. Those are any types of obstructions other than signs, which often have to be removed. And with that said, that is an indication of all of the activities related to construction and to code enforcement. But I'd like to take this time to ask all of our citizens who are here with us in the gallery and listening to us, and that we would ask you to continue to be vigilant about following the city's code. It is for the benefit of all of us to keep our community clean, to keep it beautiful, for lack of any other way to describe it. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, the city administrator and Mr. Palmer and I met with the staff. We are looking to make some adjustments to make the enforcement of our codes even more efficient than they have been, because we are dedicated to making sure that we all can look around our community and think about it with great pride. Also, and then finally, just an announcement, this Thursday, the 12th, the Georgia Department of Transportation will be here in this room doing a presentation for any citizens who may be interested. They will be doing a presentation. I don't know how many people have possibly heard, but there is going to be a realignment of the roadways here at Newmantown Road, and also a traffic circle in efforts to begin to control the traffic better and to make it run more smoothly. The reason why it's the GDOT, as we refer to the Georgia Department of Transportation, is because although this is the street that runs right in front of our city, and it's our, that is a state road, so they do have authority over that. They don't do this in the dark without consulting with us and us being involved in the planning, but it is their road. But if you are interested and you just want to see what the future brings as it relates to reducing the congestion out here on the road and the difficulties with making turns off of Newmantown Road onto Robinson Avenue, I encourage you to attend. As I say, it'll be this Thursday, June 12th, from 5 to 7 p.m. And with that, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Any questions? No? All right. Item 6D, General Services, and item 6E, Administration, will be covered during the Director's Report. So moving on to item 7, can I have a motion to accept the financial statement?
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we accept the financial statement as presented by the Finance Director, Assistant City Administrator, Mr. Bradley Smith.
And Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that motion.
All right, is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, cast your votes, please. All righty, thank you. Item number 8, Employee of the Month. Our City Administrator, Ms. Elaine Matthews.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Board. At this time, I would like to make an award for the Employee of the Month for May of 2025, and I would like to get the Recreation Services Committee to come forward. All those that work in recreation, if you'll all come forward. One of your members is going to be honored. This department always supports their employees as they have someone amongst them that's being honored tonight. And I want to tell you a little bit about this young lady that has come to work for the city. Her name is Kelsey Reese, and she has been hired to do a couple of things for us. Primarily, she will be the key operator and manager of our new depot. We brought her on a little bit early so she could start making schedules and doing a lot of research for policies and procedures for that new facility. That is a $3 million facility. It's 50% complete, and before we know it, November will be here, and her job will be there full-time. In the meantime, she is doing a lot of research to find out what other places have done that have been able to fund a project like this one. And she has also taken an interest in our museum. She actually started some studies in her own degree in museum science. And so, as most of you know, Mr. Lord has not been able to be at the museum very much since the storm. He's been a little bit under the weather, and he's been out of town with one of his daughters who's taking care of him right now. So Kelsey has come forward to protect and to inventory the things in our museum. So when we get ready for our move, they will go from this museum building here to the one at 202 East Robinson, which will be a much better scenario for us because it's all on one floor. It's a larger building, and then this building will be converted to office space. So at this time, we would like to recognize Kelsey. She has cleaned the museum up. She has started to inventory a lot of items that are there and better organized. She hasn't thrown anything away, so don't worry about that. Nothing's been thrown away, but things have been collected and better categorized and identified. It's a large project because that place over there is full. If you haven't been over there, please go. And Girl Scouts, that's a great project for y'all to attend over there. So Kelsey is working over there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday typically, and then Miss Reese, no relation to her, is there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So Kelsey, for your outstanding service to the citizens of Grovetown, we thank you. And we present you with this plaque for Employee of the Month, and you have a gift card here. So congratulations.
I just have really enjoyed working for the city, and honestly, this has been my dream job. So thank y'all, and I really appreciate this.
All right, item number 9, Service Awards. Again, our City Administrator, Miss Elaine Matthews. And I think she's got some good news about tonight's awardees.
This is a fun job, isn't it? Okay, we have 2 firefighters that are being honored tonight. And I want to tell you in the beginning, we are honoring 70 years worth of service among the 4 people that are being honored tonight. And that's a great statement. When we are in a place in jobs where people may stay 2 years, maybe 3, But here, I'm going to call on Brett Wilson. He's not here tonight. Wayne's going to receive for him. But Brett, we congratulate him for 5 years of service to the city of Grovetown, and he gets his 5-year pin. And if you will remain here, we'll give you another one. Evan Mitchell, we also congratulate him for 10 years of service. And Evan couldn't be with us tonight, but we congratulate him on 10 years of successful service with the city of Grovetown. Okay, do you want to say something about that?
Just want to say, these are two of the hardest working guys on their shifts. It's always great to be on shift with these guys. They're great to be around. They always got thoughts, wants to create a better environment for the personnel that works for him. Brett Wesson, he is one of our newest lieutenants, and then, of course, Evan Mitchell is our captain of the shift. So both these guys have excelled in their time that they've been here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. This next employee has been here for 15 years. He works in streets and sanitation. Gary Kim. Gary, if you'd come forward, please. And if all the employees with Gary that are here to support him, if they'll come forward. Gary, we're here to recognize you. The mayor and council desire to recognize you for the city of Grovetown for your faithful service to the citizens of our city for the past 15 years. This certificate and pin are tokens of our appreciation for your dedication to making our city the best it can be. We can never thank you enough for your loyalty and hope to have you as a valued team member for many years to come. You get a city pin and a raise. You can. Gary, would you like to say something? Okay.
You're welcome. Don't go anywhere.
This next award, this one touches my heart. It's a person who's given 40 years to the city of Grovetown.
Wow.
Through that time, he has endured a traffic accident that almost took his life, and a dread disease, the C word, that most of us dare to speak. Even in his darkest hour, his concern was his job with the city of Grovetown.
Amen.
David Jenkins.
Amen.
Whoa.
David, you are hereby recognized by the mayor and council members of the city of Grovetown for your faithful service to our citizens for the past 40 years. This certificate and pin are tokens of appreciation for your dedication to making our city the best it can be. Don't cry, you'll make me cry again. We can never thank you enough for your loyalty and hope to have you as a valued team member for many more years to come. I know you told me the other day you're going to retire in 2 years, but you can't go before me, so. Congratulations.
Yeah, 7 years, that's a tremendous amount. So I think go ahead, Dave, I'll let you go.
I just want to say this about David. 40 years is significant recognition for an employee to be with an agency. David has reported to work sick, and I've had to turn him around and send him back home. He's told me he's come to work with a fever. He's come to work with a cold. You name it, it's happened to David. But but he's been here for the city. I don't think I've ever worked with somebody that cared more about an agency than he does. And that's something to say about somebody. So we appreciate David. I think David will be here after I retire. He said he's gonna retire in the next couple of years, but I imagine he'll still be around. He'll come around and visit us. I don't believe Grovetown will be the same without him. I think this is truly the face of Grovetown. And we appreciate you, David. We do.
Appreciate everybody I work with, and I enjoy everybody out here. I love every one of y'all. Thank you.
Yep. Cool. All right, next item on the list is the Municipal Court Clerks Week Proclamation. And I'd like to read this. So this is a city proclamation in recognition of Municipal Court Clerks Week, which is from June 9th through June 13th, 2025. Whereas municipal court clerks play a significant role in ensuring that municipal courts preserve public safety and promote quality of life in the city of Grovetown and local municipalities across the state. Whereas the procedures for the Grovetown Municipal Court operations are set forth by the Uniform Rules of Municipal Court and other laws of the state of Georgia. Whereas more people come into contact with municipal court clerks than all other court personnel in Georgia, and public impression of the judicial system is largely dependent upon the public's experience in municipal court. Whereas municipal court clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the Grovetown Municipal Court is committed to the notion that our legal system is based on the principle that an independent, fair, and competent judiciary will interpret and apply the laws that govern us. Municipal court clerks act in a manner that promotes public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments and significant role the municipal court clerks play in preserving the public confidence, integrity, and impartiality of the judiciary. Now, therefore, I, the undersigned, do recognize the week of 9 through 13 June 2025 as Municipal Court Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our municipal court clerks, Laura McManus, Clerk of the Court, and Summer Gata, the Administrative Assistant, for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to our duty. Signed this 9th day of June 2025, Gary E. Jones, the Mayor.
Gata is here to receive this award for the Clerk of Court. And Mr. Doobie, would you also come forward? Mr. Doobie is our court prosecutor. He's also our city attorney, but he does court as well. And I want to tell you that this court runs like a Swiss timepiece. They get you in, they get you out, they take care of your paperwork, and we hope we don't see you again after that. But he has that court, so it works like clockwork. And so it's going to court is not ever a good experience, but if you go to Grovetown Court, you're treated with respect and dignity. They get you in, try to get you out, and be respectful of your time. And Mr. Doobie has been the person who's pushed it forward that our court be efficient like it is. And so we thank him. But Gata, you and Laura deserve this, and thank you so much for all the work that you do. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Yep, congratulations. Cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Doobie.
Number 11, always one of my favorite moments of the council meeting, our Vietnam Veterans Recognition. Councilman Richard Bowman.
If I could have Miss Marie Geary come forward on behalf of Corporal Kevin Michael Geary. Kevin Michael Geary, Mrs. Geary's husband, was born on March 14th, 1948, graduated from high school in 1966. He then attended art school but left after a year and a half in order to join the military during the growing Vietnam conflict. He enlisted with the U.S. Marine Corps on December 29, 1967, and was sent to Vietnam to join the war effort. As a result of his courageous service on behalf of our nation, Corporal Geary received several medals, badges, and commendations. These include the National Defense Service Medal, the Vietnam Campaign Medal with device, Vietnam Service Medal with 1 star, a Rifle Marksmanship Badge, and a Good Conduct Medal. After returning home, Corporal Geary joined the Waltham, Massachusetts Police Department and completed both his undergraduate degree and a master's degree in law enforcement. After 20 years with the department, Corporal Geary again went back to school and earned a master's degree in rehabilitation counseling. With this achievement under his belt, he worked as a therapist and helped hundreds of individuals overcome addiction. Corporal Geary passed away in 2009 after battling an aggressive form of cancer caused by his exposure to Agent Orange during his service in Vietnam. He is described by his loved ones as a man of courage, honesty, and of course, great humor. That's always important. He was also noted simply as one of a kind. I imagine his wife felt that way. The city of Grovetown honors Corporal Geary for the one-of-a-kind man he was, for the courage, honesty, and bravery shown in defending the nation's values, and for the sacrifice he ultimately made to preserve our way of life. He was not only a hero because of his work on the battlefield, but because of the help he provided to others along the way after his service was over. And we thank him for his service. We thank you for your husband's service to his country. And even though he's not here, we say, welcome home, soldier. Would you like to say something?
I'll try. Kevin was my best friend. He really rocked my world, and he was the funniest guy I ever knew. And he's missed every day. I did tell his daughter that I was going to be here tonight, and she has the only grandson that he would have had, and unfortunately he never got to meet him. But Kevin's missed by a lot of people, and he has left his mark in this world. And thank you.
All right, next item on our list, item number 12, Business Spotlight. Our city administrator, Ms. Elaine Matthews.
Thank you. If I could get Charlie Bennett to come forward. He's known to me as Charlie. He's known in the business world as Charles. Good to see you. The Business Spotlight this month is given to Queensboro National Bank and Trust. They've been a part of Grovetown for many, many years, and they serve our city by handling a lot of our bank accounts. And they've been a friend of the city as well, sponsors of events and things like that. We call on them for a lot of different things. But Charlie gives personal service to us. He's here. He's close as a phone call. You can reach him there in his office most days. And they have been great friends to the city of Grovetown. So we honor you now. Thank you for contributing to the business community and to our city. Dated this June 9th, 2025.
Cool.
Thank you, Charlie.
If I may, we really appreciate our partnership and have for many, many years. So I hope we've done right by you. And as a note, we opened our doors in Grovetown 23 years ago tomorrow.
Wow.
So I thought you'd want to know that little bit of information. Thank you again.
Wow. All right, item 13, we covered during the work session. Item 14, report from the ad hoc committee to study annexation. Councilman Bowman.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Since the appointment by Mayor Jones at our previous month's meeting, the ad hoc committee, we have met and we have initially identified some of the more natural fits, if you will, that easily to identify properties that we might want to consider annexing. In addition, we, as a committee, did a tour so that we could see them and feel them and touch them, if you know what I mean, and see if they made sense. We will be meeting again soon to begin to massage the details, if you will, of those particular properties, and to also begin to try to put together and understand and make some plans for other potential properties that we might want to consider annexing. Most of the properties that we have identified initially are more headed towards the southern direction from the city, and would be primarily residential properties. I know it would be great, and we hopefully will be able to, at some point, identify a way for us to bring some potential commercial property into the city, which would certainly help our tax base, even if that doesn't mean whether or not it's currently zone commercial, or if we would have to rezone it to commercial if it would fit in. This is actually a very timely undertaking if you consider the fact that we are also simultaneously doing our 5-year comp plan. And some of the ideas that will potentially carry over into that, or we can incorporate them into that plan. One of the things that I would like to ask you, my colleagues here on the dais, is if you are not yet familiar with the route to annexation, I would ask you to familiarize yourselves with that. There are primarily 3 ways to annex property. There's a couple more, but there's 3 primary methods for annexing property. And I see Mr. Doobie looking at me as I say this, you know. Make sure I get this right, I'm sure. But within those, there's three primary ways. Of those three, there's two that are the most likely, and that is what if you weren't familiar otherwise, much of the property that we have annexed into the city with some of the developments we've done on what they call the 100% rule, which is the easiest, cleanest, and way to do it. But there is also a 60% rule, which is a little more complicated than the 100% rule, and the implications are a little different. So I'm only asking, and again, I don't know if I'm telling you something that you're already very versed in. I apologize, but I would ask that you familiarize yourself with that, so that as we proceed forward, there's nothing right around the corner. We're not going to come to you next week, but as we begin to look at doing that and taking action, I would like for you to be familiar with those methods so that you already can get a sense of how you feel about whether or not that's something that you'd want to approve for us to do. And I particularly would ask that you spend some time on the 60% rule, because there may be some compelling reasons for us to go that route, even though it's more complicated than the 100% route. But if it's in the best interest of this city, our citizens, our tax base, for Mr. Smith over there, I would want you not to shy away from it, because there are some difficulties surrounding it. Because it is a legal and viable route to take. I know that we potentially may have missed an opportunity on a property that may have gone the 60% rule in the past. The past is the past, and I understand that. But if we go forward and that is the most viable route for us to take, and we find that it is important to annex the property, I would hope that we're able to assess it and be prepared, recognizing what would be necessary in order to make that happen. With that said, sir, that's all I have to report today. But by next month's meeting, I suspect we'll have more.
All right, thank you. Well said. Jordan, do we have any citizen comments? We do not. All right. So item 16A, general business old. Recommend adoption of ordinance 2025-05-01, ordinance to adopt the City of Grovetown budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026. Second reading.
Mayor Pro Tem Blair, I make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2025-05-01, ordinance to adopt the City of Grovetown budget for fiscal year 2025 through 2026, second reading.
Mayor Pro Tem Blair, I will second that motion.
All right. Is there any discussion? Great job by all. Thank you. Thank you, Bradley, for putting this together. All right, at this time, cast your votes. All right. Item 17, general business. 17A, recommend approval to enter into a memorandum of understanding for emergency medical and firefighting dispatch services between Columbia County and the City of Grovetown.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem Blair, I make a motion to approve the entry into a memorandum of understanding for emergency medical and firefighting dispatch services between Columbia County and the City of Grovetown.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All right, at this time, cast your votes. Thank you.
Sorry.
All right, no. All right, item 17, Bravo, recommend approval to enter into a memorandum of understanding for law enforcement dispatch services between Columbia County Sheriff's Office and the City of Grovetown.
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we approve to enter into a memorandum of understanding for law enforcement dispatch services between Columbia County Sheriff's Office and the City of Grovetown.
Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that.
All right, is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, cast your votes. Thank you, thank you. I think this is going to be a great thing for the City of Grovetown, provide a much better service for our citizens. Item 17C, recommend approval of estimated rollback, oh, yeah, we don't have to vote on that, do we? Yeah, okay, we do. Recommend approval of estimated rollback rate, 7.048 mils pursuant to House Bill 92.
Mayor Pro Tem, I will make a motion to approve the estimated rollback rate of 7.048 mils pursuant to House Bill 92.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All right, hearing none, cast your votes. All right, thank you. Item 17D, recommend approval to purchase a station alerting system, fire rescue, from Motorola Solutions, Inc. in the amount of $230,197.81.
Mayor Pro Tem Blair, I make a motion that we approve the purchase of a station alerting system, fire rescue, from Motorola Solutions Incorporated in the amount of $230,197.81.
Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that motion.
All right, is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, if you cast your votes. All right, thank you. All right, this time we'll enter into director's reports. The city administrator, Miss Elaine Matthews.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Blair. Would you give me the, just an opportunity to let David come up and give the report that Councilmember Martin would normally give for recreation, general services?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
If he'll come forward and do that. She's out of town.
Right,
and we
yeah.
miss her, so.
He was on the list. You're
Yeah,
on the
David
list.
will, he can fill in and give a report. They have some important things going on now.
Our litter crew collected 138 33-gallon bags of litter from city streets and sidewalks. So as you can see, that number is going up every month. Instead of going in the right direction, we're going in the wrong direction. So our streets and sanitation department collected 199.42 tons of bulk and yard waste for the month of May. So that number is also going up tremendously. So those folks have been pretty busy. The street department completed 28 service orders. We called in 10 inoperable street lights to Georgia Power for repair. Our street sweeper was used to clean city streets and collected 10.44 tons of waste and debris. We issued 33 bulk and trash yard waste violation tags, turning 6 over to code enforcement for noncompliance. Our street arm mower continues to cut overhanging limbs throughout the city. We received 30 citizen calls for the month of May, and our streets and sanitation department repaired potholes on Horizon South, Harlem Grovetown Road, and Newmantown Road. Our leisure and recreation department field and facility utilization hours was 276, 36 new contracts with 20 return payments, and 3 new gym memberships. Our facility maintenance department completed 80 work orders. Our fleet maintenance department completed 43 vehicle repair service orders. And to highlight on a couple of events we have coming up, 6/28, we'll have our summer jam and fireworks show combined this year. So the show will start at 5 p.m. and will end at 10 p.m. So we'll have several things going on that time. We'll have vendors, we'll have a fireworks show, and we'll have a lot of entertainment for the children. And the good thing about this event, it is free with the exception of anything purchased from our vendors. 7/4, we had the 4th of July drive-through barbecue from 11 a.m. while supplies last. We'll be routing traffic again down Lakeview Drive, coming in the back gate of the sewer plant. We'll have arrows in place directing all cars to the front of Liberty Park. That's to keep most of our traffic off our secondary roads and not have any backups, hopefully. We will limit 4 plates per car. That way we kind of serve everybody that's in line and not run out, hopefully. That's all I have, pending any
Is,
questions.
who's doing the cater? Is it Fish Eye Grill this year?
Fish Eye Grill won to bid again this year, so they continue to come in, you know, a little bit under others, so.
Sir.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Carlin, before you step away, just, I don't know if you were in the room when I mentioned during the planning and development about the city administrator and Mr. Palmer and I meeting with staff and trying to, you know, get make some changes and maybe streamline and make more efficient what's happening with the trash pickup and things like that and citing people. Are you two in communication routinely?
We
or-
actually are, not so much as, we do copy Jack when we need to communicate with the code enforcement officers, but when we turn over these violations, when our staff go out and give a violation tag, we give them 48 hours to comply. So that's plenty enough time for them to call in somebody to remove the item or remove it themselves. Once they failed to comply, you know, our tag has a date and a time on it, and we take a picture for documentation purposes. Once they failed to comply, we will tag our code enforcement officers, and we have a good working relationship with them. So far, we hadn't had any issues with that.
Okay. Well, hopefully that whatever, you know, changes or improvements or whatever that we make, it'll also pay off for your staff as well.
Most of our violation tags are mattresses. We still trying to work on getting our citizens to comply with that. For the most part, everybody has complied, but occasionally we'll have those mattresses out on the streets.
All right. Well, please keep talking, and if you've got ideas or thoughts, don't hesitate to let us know what you're thinking. That might help us make it better for both departments.
Yes, sir, we definitely will do that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'd like to thank Mr. Richards for calling our office a few days ago. Mr. Richards' grandfather was the person who was contracted to demolish the old depot. And Mr. Richards was a young man at the time, and he worked on the project himself. And they saved some boards that were taken down from the old post office. They had brought some years back and donated back to the city. And here recently, Mr. Richards came back again with another load. So we have more boards from the old depot that was across the street here. So thank you, Mr. Richards, if you're listening to our meeting tonight. We sure appreciate your thoughtfulness in saving those boards in 1975. So they've been returned here. We would like to just send a shout out to Brian, our city clerk. He is not feeling well. So Brian, if you're watching us, we hope you get feeling better. Also, we would like to send out our sincere sympathy to our mayor, Gary Jones, and to his family for some things that have gone on there, loss of loved ones. So we want him to know that we are thinking about him and his family. On June 28th, we closed on the property at 208 East Robinson Avenue. That's 4.55 acres, more or less, that lies between Robinson Avenue and Ford Avenue, and it will be used, the backside will be used for the purpose of constructing a new fire department that is in your sales tax projects for the upcoming year. It will be probably January or February before we sit down to actually start drawing any kind of plans, but the property is in place. So we're grateful for all the cooperation that you all have given me and the latitude that you've given me to secure this property. We're proud owners. Also, on June the 18th, the city is a sponsor in conjunction with the Columbia County Chamber of Commerce for Military Appreciation Day. We have 8 seats reserved there. If you want to go, it will be at the exhibition center, and the city is one of the sponsors. So if you want to go, please let Jordan know. We have a table reserved for 8, and I think we have, 5 people signed up now? Okay, we have 5 signed up, so there's 3 more seats. And I would encourage you to be there. It's a very meaningful service. And that is also a day on which the city is off for a half a day. So those attending the morning service there at the chamber, they would, when they're done, they're released to go home, because city offices will close at noon on June the 18th in celebration for the next day, June 19th, which is a celebration day for us, Juneteenth, that the city celebrates. So we will be closed half a day on Wednesday, all day on Thursday the 19th. So if you mark your calendars for that, in case you're planning to come to City Hall to do any business or have any other business with the city. I would also like to announce that there's a church in our community that is celebrating 100 years anniversary on June the 22nd at 10 o'clock. It's Clifford Memorial Presbyterian, just across the tracks over there. You're all invited to attend. If you attend your own service and would just like to come for lunch, we'll be serving lunch around to whoever in the community that chooses to come. So we invite you to that. I just want to thank you all, tell you how much I appreciate you. This is a great place to work, great place to live, great place to raise your family, and a great place to come here to be honored by mayor and council for people who are outstanding members of the community. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Anything from our finance director? Anything else? No, sir. General services? Anything else to add? Okay. Utility services? Mr. Keith Lyons. I'm sorry about my faux pas that I had earlier this evening. Anything, sir? Nothing? No, sir. Okay. Anything from planning and zoning? No, sir. Anything from the police department, sir? No, sir. Anything from the fire department? No, sir. Anything from our PIO? No, sir. He's back there answering questions on Facebook. Always doing it. Anything from our city attorney? You know, I always got to ask. Yeah, you knew I was going to ask, yeah. No, sir. All right. All right, well, that concludes our business for this evening, so if I can have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor Pro Tem, I will make a motion that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
All right, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second that
All
motion.
righty. At this time, I'll call the meeting adjourned. Thank you all for attending.